Hey guys, today's January 30th. Muzzleloader season. Got the old smoke pole. Middle of the day, I'm actually just really coming out here to pull a camera and relocate a couple other cameras. But I figured I'd bring the gun with me and I'll still hunt through some thickets that I know about, see if I can get a doe or a buck before deer season ends tomorrow. So, got about a mile walk to where my camera is. But it's a beautiful day out. Nice and crisp. We got a snowstorm coming in tomorrow. It's supposed to get 4 to 12 inches. Pretty big span. So we'll see how that goes. If we do end up getting some snow, I think I might take the day off work on Tuesday and take my rabbit dogs out. I love rabbit hunting in the snow and haven't done it in a couple of years, so that'll be fun. We'll get some video of that, hopefully. But we'll see what's on my camera, and maybe we'll jump a deer on the way there, then get a shot. Lots of foot traffic coming through this piece of public. Bit of a beaver problem over here. It's a real big, thick greenbrier patch. I've seen deer bed up in this stuff, and late season they tend to mosey around in this greenbrier. It's really about the only food around. You can tell here's some nipped off. Maybe I'll find something laying in here. It's really crunchy out, so they'll hear me coming. So I'm trying to go slow. There's a lot of oaks in here, white oak. All these trees are all white oak, mixed in with all this greenbrier and woody browse along the forest floor. A lot of trails cutting through here, but I'm not seeing much fresh sign. So I'll keep on moving along. Wonder what's living in there. It's like someone's practicing their axe skills on this dead tree. Got like a little ridge here. I mean, this is Delaware, there's no ridges, but it's a little rise, about 10 feet in elevation. Walk up here, see if I see any trails down along it. Looks super thick straight ahead. old rug. Like something was scratching around next to this other rug there. Sorry, a lot of shadows. It's hard to see. There's that branch broken off there. This rug is right along this. There's like a low spot here. It rises up here and then drops back off right there. Looks like there's a trail coming right down along the edge here. Over towards, there's like a swamp back that way. Still making my way to my destination to pull a camera that I had soaking out here for about a month. Haven't jumped anything yet. Haven't seen much fresh sign either. But I'm on this flat now that I just found. On each side of this flat, it drops off probably about 10 or 15 feet into like a wet low area. A bunch of oaks here on this flat, a lot of more red oaks, but there's some pretty big white oaks as well. Just looking for some deer sign. This might be a good spot during the rut to see a buck cruising, but who knows? I'm not seeing many rubs either, so maybe not. Keep on walking. There's my camera. I had it pointing over this little ditch. There's some tracks in the mud around in here. Seem to be crossing in here. There's field out that way, field out that way. That spot, that flat I was talking about was actually just back up there about 100 yards, so my camera's actually not too far away from that area. I did walk past an old scrape, so I think they are using this area. Maybe not so much right now. All right, I'm walking down the edge of the field here now. Pick cornfield. Just picked up my camera. And there's some doe tracks next to some boot tracks. I'm not the only one back here. I'm pretty far back. But shotgun season ended last week. This week is the muzzleloader. So I'm sure there was guys walking around all over with their guns. I'm gonna walk the edge of this field here and see if I can find a decent trail coming in and out of the field that I can follow back into the woods towards maybe a potential bedding area. The woods are pretty much wide open right now, but there's isolated pockets of like greenbrier and low brushy areas that they could be laying up in. By the way, I'm gonna head back into the wood line once I find a trail, and then head on back to the truck. I was walking through the woods, decided to stop and go to the bathroom. While I was sitting on the toilet, I noticed that there was a rub right there. This is actually like a transition line. There's like a bunch of, I don't know what kind of trees they are. They have like real shaggy bark on them. Maybe you guys can tell me. There's a whole bunch of them, and then there's this edge here, and then it opens up into this bottomland type habitat where there's a bunch of maples and sweet gum trees and holly. I just followed a trail from that field edge, which is that way, up through here. A bunch of tracks in it, and then it led right up towards that rub and into that over there. I think I'm going to follow this transition line up and see if I see any more trails. I already dropped a couple pins for next year. So I'm heading on out. Just came across this scrape. There's hoof prints in it. It's the end of January. Keep that in mind. And here's licking branch was just licked. It's still green and it's got like, the camera won't focus, but it's got like saliva or something. It's wet. Everything else is dry. Here's an old piece of licking branch. That's interesting. Something must have came through here recently. Or this morning, actually. Well, I'm gonna head on out. Catch you on the next one. Hey everybody, today's the day of the big nor'easter we're supposed to get here in Delaware. They're calling for 8 to 12 inches of snow now. It was 5 to 8, but they increased it, but we'll see what happens. Sometimes we get nothing. Sometimes we'll get a lot. I'm just taking some time before the snow hits to set some trail cameras in this piece I've been wanting to figure out for a while. Just haven't been able to dial it in, so I just want to set a few trail cams and let them sit through the summer and see if the areas I suspect them to be in, if they're actually there or not, on a regular basis at least. So we'll see how it goes. When I get set up, I'll explain a little bit about why I'm setting them up there. So I'll check in when I get to the spots. Little baby. So this is where I'm thinking it's real thick briars and these little brush type trees. I don't know what they're called, but they're everywhere. It's like a jungle in here in the summertime. Over here is like a little oak flat. A little pond over there. Over this way is some private property. And I think these deer actually bed right behind this private in all this thick stuff. There's a pretty good trail I'm about to get on that cuts through there and all the way back that way. So I think they're bedding over here, coming out through here, and either hitting this oak flat and all the oaks out here. And then there's crop fields way back that way, about a half mile. So let me find this trail I'm looking for. All right, so here's this trail. I don't know if you can see it coming through here. You see here some droppings, more droppings. Around this brush, more droppings, more droppings. Right up against this little low area and all this greenbrier. And this trail continues through here and up into there, where it's even thicker. So I could set up in any one of these trees and should be able to squeeze an arrow down through this brush, but I have to wait for the perfect shot because it is pretty thick. I think I might put my camera in this tree over here, about 1 stick high, facing this way down the trail. So look for a fresh sign. I mean, this isn't that fresh, but when I came through here a couple weeks ago, it was fresh. But they do use this. There's more droppings up there. They do cut through here a lot. I know that. And in the winter, they want to typically eat on these briars. There's not much else to eat in all of this little woody browse, the buds and all that. But there is a big overgrown field over there. It's probably about 10 or 15 years old now. They do bed out there too, which is probably where they're at now because of the snow coming in. It's thicker, or there's more cover over their heads. So let me set this trail cam. All right, so here's the camera setup. Got 1 stick high, facing at me, which is down this trail here that I was just talking about, coming through here. So let's move on to the next one. And check this out. This tree is like splintered all the way up to the top. And there's like pieces of splintered wood like all through here on the ground. Over there. What do you think happened? Looks like there might be another one over there. Lightning strike? That's weird, but cool. So here's this other tree. Up, and it wraps around the side. That's wild, I've never seen that before. This is one of these overgrown old pasture fields that I was talking about. Real high stem count in there, pretty nasty. But it's starting to get older, so you can actually kind of see in there a little bit, but not in the summertime, that's for sure. But they bed in there too. But there's no trees for a tree stand. And there's really not even an opportunity to sit on the ground because there's so many stems you couldn't get an arrow through there. So you gotta wait for them to come out. Alright, this is the next spot I'm gonna set a cam. There's a trail coming through here, crossing this little ditch. You can see some tracks there. coming through here, up through here, then over that little log and out into that thicket I was just talking about. Overgrown field is over there. I'll set the camera in this tree, looking down this trail. All set. Got this one on video mode. Hopefully it works. It's a new camera for me. Got it locked up, so hopefully nobody messes with it, but it's public land, who knows? There's always a risk. So this is that trail coming through here and heading that way. All right, one more camera to set. All right, this is the way to the next camera / tree stand setup that I want to do for next year. It's pretty thick. Gotta crawl through some brush and not fall in the water. Whew. Greenbrier and brush. Let's see here. I think this way. It's real thick in here. Can't imagine what it's like in the summertime. So these are the types of areas where people don't usually go. And sometimes the deer feel more comfortable moving during daylight. I don't know what that noise is. Believe it or not, I'm on a deer trail. Just about where I need to be and find a tree and set up the camera. Alright, there's the last camera set up on video mode. Got a trail coming through here. See some tracks and frozen in the mud. There's a trail that goes out this way and a trail that goes up this way. I can probably set up in this tree here. Shoot this intersection. I think they're bedding up that way, coming out and coming down through here. This is like a low area. You can see all those little trees and brushy, and there's a crop field out that way. So we'll see. Had some turkeys sneak by me a minute ago, 3 times. A lot of turkeys out today. But we'll let these cameras soak for a while. Probably till July or August. Come back and check them before September 1st is the opening of bow season in Delaware. We'll be back.